Hello students, myself D.K. Verma from Santiniketan Jubilee School Motihari. Students, this is our third lecture from chapter 3, class 10 economics, money and credit. In this class students, we have to study about double coincidence of wants. Students, what is the meaning of double coincidence of wants? Double coincidence of wants means what a person wants to sell, the other is also or should be also in a condition to purchase that very thing in the market. In a sense, we can say, students, that double coincidence of wants in this chapter has been referred to as what a person desires to sell is exactly what the other wishes to buy. In a barter system where goods are directly exchanged without the use of money, double coincidence of wants is an essential feature. And this double coincidence of wants was meaningful in the barter system when money was not invented and goods were exchanged with goods and people's needs and requirements were fulfilled on the basis of the exchange of goods with goods. So double coincidence of wants has its greater linking with a barter system, and barter system was completely a system of the exchange of goods with goods. We have earlier studied about this. But nowadays we don't exchange goods with goods. We exchange goods with money or money with goods. Suppose if we have to sell something in the marketplace, whether it can be grains, crops or spices, by selling of these things, what do we get? Students, we get money. But if we have money and we want such things from the market, by giving the money we can get those things. So everywhere, whether this is the matter of buying or selling, money plays an important role in the modern time after the invention of money. But in the barter system, Vastu Vinimay Pranali, as money was not invented, that is why people used to exchange goods with goods. Although there were so many difficulties and they had to face, they had also to suffer, their immediate needs were not fulfilled, but there was a situation just to face that very problem and cover up the needs. So double coincidence of wants was a condition that was seen in the barter system, but nowadays we don't see exchange of goods with goods, and we are not dependent on a person who is the owner of goods or services. There are so many goods in the marketplace. There are so many people who can provide services of different types in the marketplace. We can avail different types of goods and services in the marketplace in a very better way. The only need is to have money in the pocket. So the barter system and modern system with money are two different things, are two different situations. We can't compare one with another. After this, students, the topic of study here is modern forms of money. Whenever we talk about money in the modern period, students, we talk about money such as currency notes, coins and so on. Currency notes that we use in our day-to-day life to fulfill our needs is of too much importance because it is helpful in buying and selling of goods and services in the marketplace, students. We can have different types of currency notes of rupees 2, currency notes of rupees 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500 and so on. There are different types of currency notes of different values, and on the currency notes you must see there is written, I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 200 rupees, the sum of 10 rupees, the sum of 100 rupees, the sum of 50 rupees. What is the meaning of this statement? स्टूडेंट्स, मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि ये जो लिखा होता है आई प्रॉमिस टू पे द बियरर द सम ऑफ 10 रुपीज और 100 रुपीज, इसका अर्थ ये हुआ कि रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया मार्केट प्लेस में ग्राहकों को उस वैल्यू के रुपये को निर्गत करने का वचन देता है। मैं धारक को 10 रुपये अदा करने का वचन देता हूं। इज सेड बाय द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। Means we are capable, we are in a condition to have or hold that very value of note in the marketplace for meeting our needs. This is guaranteed by the Reserve Bank of India on the behalf of the central government, and this is very clear now that currency notes are modern forms of money. Coins are also modern forms of money. If we give the coins to the bank, to a person in the marketplace for any purpose that has equal value, that has equal importance as the currency notes, no one can refuse from accepting. So this is what we are talking about, modern forms of money as currency notes and coins. If you go to deposit your money in the form of currency notes or coins to a bank, the bank can't refuse your currency notes or coins, saying that this is not a modern form of money. It is because these are all modern forms of money and have been guaranteed by the Reserve Bank of India. That is why these are all the time valuable things and usable things and acceptable things. Currency notes can also be deposited in the banks, can also be withdrawn from the bank, can also be given in the marketplace, can also be kept by us, can also be used to run our businesses and so on. The same thing is there with coins with us. So students, it is quite clear that by the use of these modern forms of money in the form of currency notes and coins, we can fulfill our needs, we can run our businesses, we can deposit the money either in the banks or at our houses, so that we could be able to fulfill our needs, we could be able to run our businesses and so on. So we can't refuse from the use of currency notes and coins in the modern time, students. This is very important, and without these things our life is not possible. Our requirements can't be fulfilled, our businesses can't run, And after this, the topic of study comes here, deposits with banks. We deposit our money in banks. प्रारंभिक अध्ययन में ही स्टूडेंट्स मैंने आप लोगों को बताया था कि मुद्रा के 4 अहम कार्यों में से एक कार्य है बैंक में जमा करना. टू डिपॉजिट मनी इन द बैंक्स इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन ऑफ मनी, मॉडर्न फॉर्म्स ऑफ मनी. If we have surplus money with us more than our domestic needs, we can deposit the money in the banks. And it is because number one, money is safe and secured there in the banks, and whenever we deposit our money in banks, our money also brings some rate of interest as fixed by the bank. So we get 2 different types of benefits by depositing our money in the banks. Number one, it is secured and safe there. Number two, it brings some rate of interest. So in this sense, money can be deposited there in the banks. So it is very clear, students, that we can't ignore money from use. We can't give disrespect to money. We can't run our businesses. We can't fulfill our needs. And also, if we use money, then we need credit. Either formal credit or informal credit. Suppose there is a person in the marketplace who needs 20,000 money just to purchase a tri-rickshaw to earn and run the business, but the very person has no money at all. Under different schemes of the government to benefit such people, the very person can be able to get some little amount of loan from the bank. What is that? That money taken by the person to run the business or to live in a very better way can be an example of formal credit, औपचारिक ऋण. And if another person gets the money from money lender, landowner, friends or relatives, that can also be a form of credit, that can also be a form of loan, but that is too troublesome for the person, because the rate of interest on informal credit is very high and it is on the monthly basis. So there is too much exploitation of the person or persons who get informal money in the marketplace. So these are other things of discussion regarding credit. Whenever students we talk about getting the money, there comes 2 different types of people. The first is known as lender, the second is known as borrower. The person or institution who gives the money to other people in the marketplace is called the lender, कर्ज देने वाला. The person who gets or the persons who get the money from the banks or money lenders or landowners is known as the borrower, कर्ज लेने वाला. Borrow, कर्ज लेना, lend, कर्ज देना. So in this process we get 2 different types of people, lender and borrower. Bank is also a lender. Money lender, friends, relatives are also lenders who give money to other people, and those who get the money to fulfill the needs and requirements to run the businesses, are known as borrowers. So with this topic we end our study, students. In the next lecture class we would discuss other things.